Hey Montana, how are you, sweet girl? I miss seeing you and I wish I was there. I sure do, but since I'm not, I'm going to read you another story. And I also wish you were sitting on my lap while I read it, but we can't do that right now. So I'm going to read you a story, and it's called The Adventures of the Itty Bitty Frog. Do you know what itty bitty means? It means little teeny weeny frog. Itty bitty, not a big bullfrog. Itty bitty frog, little guy. And this is a story about how he helped a baby bird. I think you're going to like it. So here's the story, The Adventures of the Itty Bitty Frog. You ready? Oop, let me get to the right page. Down by the river, in the coolness of the light, was an itty bitty frog that had been there all night. Isn't he cute? It's kind of a cute little frog. He skimpered and he scampered through the grass so green. He was the cutest little frog you had ever seen. He hopped and he hopped through the field so tall, and he chatted with the mice who sat on the wall. Well, here he is in the grass. And here he is chatting with mice, talking to the little mice. Kind of a friendly little frog. The frog waved at the bees as they buzzed along, and he listened to the crickets as they played their song. Then the itty bitty frog had just stopped for a rest when he saw a little bird that had fallen from his nest. So here's the crickets playing their song and the bees that are buzzing by. And here is the little bird right here that had fallen all the way out of the tree to the ground. Boy, he's there all by himself. The bird lay at the bottom of the tree, crying out loudly, "Please help me." Well, the little frog hopped over to the tiny little bird. "Are you the one shouting? Are you the one I heard?" Here's the little bird crying. And here's the frog asking him, "Are you the one I heard?" And it is, isn't it? That little bird is crying. The bird nodded his head and he stuck out his chest. "Yes, I'm the one you heard. I fell from my nest. When I fell from the nest, I began to roam, and now it looks as if I'm a long way from home." Then the frog looked down and said with a sigh, "Hush, little bird, there's no need to cry. I'll get you home to the top of the tree. Don't worry about a thing. Just leave it to me." So that itty bitty frog is going to help that bird get back to his nest and back to his mama. I bet his mama, bet she's looking for him everywhere. Probably wondering, what on earth am I going to do? The baby bird said, "Thanks. I don't mean to complain, but I'm awfully scared and it looks like rain." So the frog made a bed to keep the bird dry. He turned his head up and he looked towards the sky. He was a long way up to the top of the nest, but the frog was determined to give it his best. So here's the little bed that he made for the frog. Made it out of leaves, got him nice and comfortable. But look how big that tree is. I don't know how that itty bitty frog is going to get up there where the nest is. I don't even know. Let's see what his plan is. He hopped till his legs grew sore, and he searched until he couldn't any more. Then the itty bitty frog sat down to think for a while, when he heard a bird cry, "Where is my child?" So here he's hopping, but he can't get up that big tree. When he stops to rest, he hears a mama bird say, "Where is my child?" She's so worried. The frog ran into the woods to see who it could be. It was the sad mama bird sitting high in a tree. She had tears in her eyes and a broken heart too. She had looked all over and didn't know what to do. The frog jumped and yelled loudly, "Look down here, mama bird, at the bottom of the tree. I found your baby, and he's not too far from here. He's lying tucked away safely, so there's no need to fear." So look at this mama bird. Oh my goodness, she is so upset because her bird is not in the nest and she does not know where he is. But the frog said, "Don't be afraid. I know where he is. I've got him nice and safe and sound." See how this works out. When the frog got back, he didn't know what to say, for a giant flood had come and washed the bird away. So the itty-bitty frog began searching through the forest and the trees. He even asked the crickets, the mice, and the bees. Look, the water came, and now that little bird that used to be there is gone. And he is asking everybody, the crickets, he's asking the mice, he's asking the bees, where did that little baby bird go? Where did the water take him? No one had seen the baby that had fallen to the ground, so that frog kept on searching and looking all around. He did not give up, did he? He looked under the rocks and over by the well, and then he saw something move, but he couldn't really tell. He just looking everywhere, over by the well, and that's where he heard something. So the frog got a little closer and peered without a word, and sure enough, to his surprise, it was the baby bird. The frog picked him up quickly and gently shook him dry. "I'm taking you to your mama so she does not have to cry." So there, look. He found him under some other leaves, and he shook him off and said, "I'm taking you to your mama." I bet that bird was so happy. The bird chirped loudly with excitement and glee. "Thank you, Mr. Frog. You're so kind to help me." The frog took the baby to the smiling mama bird, and she said, "You are an honest frog because you really kept your word." So where are we? Here we go. He said, "I'm taking you to your mama because she's worried." And look at how happy the mama is. She's a bluebird, isn't she? She's so happy. And she said to the itty-bitty frog, "You are so kind." Isn't that the way we treat people? We be kind as we can. The frog smiled and said, "I didn't mind. I wish everyone we met could be a little kind." And then the itty-bitty frog turned around in the coolness of the light to happily tuck himself away for a very pleasant night. He did a good deed that day, didn't he? There's where he said, "I wish everyone was kind." And now, look how he's all tucked in those leaves and he's sleeping for the night. Did you like that book about the itty bitty frog? I really do too. It says he's only an itty bitty frog, but his heart is very, very big because he helped the little bird. And you have a kind heart too, don't you, Montana? I know you do. Well, I love you, girl, and I hope to see you soon. Mwah!